Hello, Ian Marsh here, and I'm really excited to share with you this next part of your training. Before I do, I want to ask you, have you done your homework? Have you actually worked out what your freedom number is that you need to achieve to have the sort of life that you want to have? Have you spent time clarifying those important things that you want to achieve while you're on this planet? Well, to do that, you actually need to have income. You have to make money and you have to have profit. So do you know how much money you're actually going to require to live the life that you want to live? The freedom number is what I refer to it as. And if you've worked out that freedom number, have you worked out how many leads or what your business has to do to help you get that freedom number? Well, I hope you have done this exercise because it is critical to your financial and lifestyle freedom. It may sound like a simple process, but when you believe in it and when you work out a plan to generate those leads, bottom line is, in the not too distant future, you're going to start achieving those things that I've just got you to put down on paper to think about. Probably many of you for the very first time in a long time. So, moving forward, I'm going to assume that you've been good and you're serious about your success and you've done that exercise. So now what I want to talk to you about is your existing vehicle, your money-making vehicle that you have right now. Is it the right one, or should you be looking at a different type of vehicle? Well, I'm going to give you a formula that I want you to apply to your vehicle, and you then determine if it is the right vehicle. And then we're going to do an exercise where it will reveal the potential of your business and what it could grow into. And when you do that exercise, you can then determine, hey, this is what I've got to do to improve my vehicle. Or for some of you, you may just have to get rid of your business vehicle and look at something else if you've got the courage to do it. But all I'm asking you to do is keep your eyes open and be very pragmatic about what I'm about to share with you. Some of it may make you feel a little uncomfortable, but for you to be able to achieve the things that you want to achieve, you have to hit those uncomfortable areas of life constantly and break through them. Get right out of that comfort zone, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the formula I want you to apply to your business, and it's maths plus psychology plus lifestyle plus sunrise minus sunset. So what am I talking about here? Have I gone bonkers? How the hell is that a magic formula for a successful business? Well, let me break it down for you guys. So the first thing is maths. Now, if you're out there and you're spending 12 hours a day selling PowerPoints, and you've got a $20 PowerPoint that you've got to put in for an electrician, for a builder, and the electrician down the road's also got a $20 PowerPoint he'll put in for a builder, what you have there is a commodity. And you really find it very difficult to be able to differentiate between one PowerPoint at $20 and another PowerPoint at $20. So what you're going to find is that because of competition and because it's a commodity, the margins aren't that great. Now don't panic if you're an electrician, because there are a lot of things you can do to fix that situation. So in a situation like that, the maths is not that flash. What you have to do is be creative. So if you've got to go out there and you're trying to put it out at $20 an hour, the electrician down the road says, well, he's quoting $20 an hour, I'm going to quote $18 an hour to the builder so that he'll give me the work. Can you see how this is dangerous? So you're in a commodity, you haven't got great margin, and it's very hard for you to be able to charge $30 for a PowerPoint and make some decent profit if the guy down the road is doing it for $18. So this is what I'm talking about with decent maths. Do you have decent margin in what you do? Are you just a commodity, and are you based on price? Well, you can survive on price, but it's a very dangerous business model. Then the next part you've got to be looking at is the psychology. So are there a lot of people out there that want what you have? Well, in the case of our electrician, well, yes, there are a lot of people that need electrical work done. But what you've got to do is be strategic with how you offer your services. So what many people do when they go out to the marketplace, and we'll stay with the example of an electrician, when they go out to help people, they're saying, hey, listen, let me put a PowerPoint in. And what happens is there's generally an accepted rate for what that PowerPoint is. So is there a massive crowd wanting what you have for the electrician? Well, yes, there is, but we've just talked about it before. Unless you innovate with what you're doing, you won't make a lot of money, you'll work your backside off, and you won't be able to achieve the profits that you want to achieve for your freedom number. So that's the psychology. So what should be a better way for you to approach it is have a look at what the market wants and say, okay, well, rather than me just being an electrician and putting a PowerPoint in for someone, what is it that the market really needs right now? Well, what about energy saving strategies? Because the cost of electricity is massive. So if an electrician was wise, he could go out to the marketplace and say, guys, are you sick of paying this ridiculous amount of money for electricity? Let me come and help you. I will show you a way to fix that. And he could make a lot of money by being innovative with these new products where people can massively reduce their electricity bill. That's what I'm saying when it comes to psychology. Do you have what the market wants? Electricians that put in PowerPoints are a dime a dozen. However, someone that could solve a problem for the market, fantastic, great opportunity. And there are a lot of huge opportunities out there. The world is changing at a great rate of knots, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to keep up with it. A lot of the traditional industries are slowly disappearing, but there's a lot of new ones that are growing. You know, areas in health, areas in, look at drones for example. Did you know that Amazon is actually delivering their packages by drone now? And that they're delivering pizzas in India by drone? Yeah, I kid you not. Check it out on YouTube, it's quite amazing. So do you think that could be a growth industry and that there's a lot of people out there that may want what you can create for them? So find the problem in the market and then create the best solution for them. The next thing I want to talk about is your lifestyle. So what is the life that you have to lead to be able to achieve the end result? Can you really develop this business that you have, this business vehicle, into a real business so that you can sort of step aside when the time is right and have the business largely run itself? Because when you can do that, the value of your business will grow from, if you go to put your business on the market and you're responsible for the operation of it, it's probably worth around about 1 times net profit. So if it's making $300,000 a year, you might be able to get $300,000 for it. But if you can step aside and it's largely run under management and you need to have minimal involvement with it, well then it's worth 4 or 5 times net profit. So that same $300,000, if you go to sell it now, could be worth anything up to $1.5 million. So this is where the big dollars come in. This is where your big payday happens, structuring your business ready for sale. So if you can see that your business can be scalable and you can get it to that level and it's not just a glorified job, well, that's fantastic because you will be able to have the lifestyle that you want to have. Now, cautionary note, ladies and gentlemen, every organisation that I've built, I've had to put my head down, my backside up and work like the dickens to get it to the level I want to get it to. But the thing is, once I get it to that level, I can then step aside and have it largely run itself without me being involved. And that's where the real money is. So does your business have the potential to do that so you can have the lifestyle that you want? You know, it might take you 1 to 2 years to start to get to the level where you start taking a lot more time off, but you can double the time off in your organisation and you can double and triple your profits if you follow these simple methods that I'm sharing with you. So then, after we look at that, so that's the maths, that's the psychology, the lifestyle, I want you to see if you're in a sunrise business, because this also adds to the attractiveness of the business. So a sunrise business is businesses that are growing in demand. So for example, the drones, I mean, they're growing at a great rate. You've also got the health industry. We're getting older. Chances are I'm, believe it or not, probably going to live to close to 100. And the ages just keep growing. There was a time when you'd retire at 65, you'd be dead by 70. Well, now the expectation is sort of 85, 86, 90, 95. So these people that live longer, do they want to be old and decrepit and not be able to chase the missus around the coffee table? Well, no, they want to be energetic, they want to go out and do things, they want to explore the world, they want to have a very different retirement to what our parents and our grandparents had. So with that in mind, how can you help fill that void? Okay, so that could be a sunrise business for you. There are many of them out there. So where is the world heading to? You want to be thinking about this, getting a sunrise business. So imagine getting into smartphones when they first came alive. When Steve invented that smartphone, wouldn't you want to have owned a phone shop? But these days, I don't know if having a phone shop would be the best opportunity for you, because who doesn't have a phone now? Now, the next thing is a sunset business. Are you in a sunset, or will it become a sunset business? Okay, so with that in mind, I'm talking about situations like video stores. In fact, I'll tell you a story about a gentleman that I tried to help. He owned a video store in Albany many years ago, and I went to see him, and because he said, listen, my profits are slowly disappearing, I want someone to give me advice on fixing it. And at the time when I went to see this guy in Albany, he'd been in business for quite a while, made quite a bit of money out of his video store, and he was very sort of locked in his ways. And I was telling him, my son actually downloads videos or movies, blockbusters, from the internet for free. Even though I don't agree with it, he's getting them and watching them. So don't you think that that technology is going to expand more and more? This is way before, you know, we had Netflix and all that sort of thing, or that sort of scenario. So the video guy goes, oh no, that'll never happen. And I said, mate, the world's going digital and people will just start downloading their movies off the internet rather than come to a video store. These days are numbered. Why don't you innovate and start selling these games? So, you know, like EB Games now. Well, when I was talking to this gentleman, EB Games didn't exist. But I knew my son was playing Xbox all the time and I couldn't drag him away from it. Now, the gentleman didn't listen to me. And sadly, I went back there a couple of years later and I was wondering where the video store was, and the business next door said, oh, it's pretty sad. Not only did he lose his business, but he was putting equity in from his home continuously to prop the business up, a home that he'd paid off. And in the end, he didn't just lose his business, but he lost his home, he also lost his wife. So guys, this is not an uncommon story, and I don't want you to be a victim of it. So make sure you're not in a sunset business where the time has come and gone. You need to get out if it doesn't make sense anymore. So that's the formula, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure you apply it to your business. How do you stack up? Now, the final exercise that I've got for you today is for you to see the potential of your business. Now remember, you've got your freedom number that you want to achieve. And I want you to be looking at your business objectively, and I'm going to be taking you through a table right now in your worksheet in the street press that you got. There is a table there with an example of a hypothetical business, and then there's another sheet there with that you can work on yourself. Now, I'm going to go through that with you now, and and we're going to go through this exercise just to see if your business has the potential. I'm going to be just throwing a few ideas out to start stimulating your brain cells as to what you might be able to do to improve the business. And if you can see there's massive potential for what you can do with your business, fantastic. And make sure you contact us. We can help you do it. But if you think that you might be flogging a dead horse, well, have the courage to look seriously as that as well, and then see if you need to take some action on it. Have a look in your Street Press magazine, and there's a hypothetical business there where it says the lifetime value of a hypothetical customer. So let's have a look at this hypothetical customer, and in column A on that form you've got monthly leads, you've got 100. Annual leads is 1200, because 12 times 100 is 1200. Imagine your business is converting at 30%. That means that you'll actually have 360 customers for the year, and each time they do business with you they spend $100. So, and the profit margin is 50%. So your profit per sale is actually $50. Now, if they come and do business with you in column H at 2 times a year, then you're actually going to make $100 out of each customer a year. Now, the average number of years that a customer buys from you is 3 years. The lifetime value of each customer then is 100, which is how much you make a year, by 3 years, which is $300. So the lifetime profit value for all your customers is $108,000. Notice the lifetime value of the client. That's the important one, not the transactional value of the client. It's really the lifetime value is the real value of your client. Now, how many referrals do they give to you? In column M, well, this one is 1 referral, and the conversion rate on that is 50%. So you get half the referral, if you like, out of a customer. Now, the number of referrals over a lifetime, which is 3 years, is 1.8. So D times 0. So number of referrals is half, and then you've got 360. So you've got 180 referrals. So 180 referrals, the lifetime profit from the referrals is $54,000. Total lifetime profit from each customer is $450. And so total lifetime profit value for all new customers is $162,000. I hope that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is ask you if you could just improve your business a little bit, what the results would be. Now, in any organisation there are 7 key profit drivers. That's the number of leads you have coming in, what your conversion rate is, what the average dollar sale is, what your profit margin is, how many times those people do business with you per year, and how long those people do business with you, so extending the lifetime value so they stay with you for 3 or 5 years rather than 1 year. And also the referrals. So there's 7 key profit drivers in a business. Now let's just have a look at those profit drivers, shall we? Let's just look at what might be able to be done with your business to help you achieve a better result in your organisation. So imagine you improved your leads just by 10%. I'm not saying 100%, even though it's very easily done. Let's just say you increase your leads by 10% by starting some Facebook or some pay-per-click or doing some direct mail. Okay, so increase whatever your number is. I want you to put your number into the blank page of how many leads you're actually getting per month and do the exercise there. And then look at your conversion rate. Have you ever done any sales training? When was the last book that you read on sales? What point of sale material do you have to improve your sales? So do you think if you had great point of sale material, like a shock and awe for example, or if you had some sales training, you were reading and you had to communicate with people better, you might get a better result? Well, let's just assume that you did that and you improved your results by 10% there. Then if we moved on to the average dollar sale, have you got any process for letting your clients know all of the services that you offer and having a checklist process there so that, say if you were an electrician and you offered someone in PowerPoint, you might say to them, well listen, would you like a safety check on your home so that I can see anything else that may be amiss because we don't want to have a fire in your home. And then when you come back you give them a report and you can also let them know that hey, you could put infrared sensors on your light switches so they turn on and off for you when you walk into a room. Hey, you could actually put energy saving equipment on, or did you know that we have solar power that we can provide for you, etc, etc. So what could you do to increase the average dollar sale for your client? Now what about your profit margin? Have you looked at your profits? When was the last time you had a price increase? Have you looked at your competitors and what they're charging? Now, you have a look then at the number of purchases per year. So, are you communicating with your clients in a regular manner? Do you have a decent newsletter, for example? How do they know all of the services that you offer? Do you SMS them when it's time for them to come back to see you because you might have some maintenance program in place? These are just a few ideas that we work with our clients on continuously when we're coaching them, but I want you to see what the potential is in your business. So let's just assume that you could increase that by 10%. Now, how about the number of years that somebody stays with you? Well, if you started giving them great service and showed them that you cared and stayed in contact with them regularly and you had a decent newsletter going out to them, do you think that they might keep doing business with you for a longer period of time? It's a pretty safe bet they will, and let's just say 10% on that as well, shall we? And the last one is, imagine if you had a referral strategy where just about every client you did business with would give you the name of another person that you could go and contact. Many times 2 and 3. We're very good at developing referral strategies for people. So if you had a system where one person generates you 2 or 3 leads, what would that do for your business? So let's just add 10% there. So go through that exercise now and see what the result is. Now, on this hypothetical page, I kept the numbers fairly small just to keep the exercise easy, but just doing those simple things, we've got an 89.56% improvement. So we've taken it from $162,000 to $307,000 for the lifetime value. Guys, what can you do in your business? Now, when I do this exercise with our clients, many times we see 300, 400, 500% improvement. We take people from doing 300,000 in turnover to doing 2 or 3 million in turnover in many cases. But it's a matter of you getting serious and having a strategy and a plan to implement all of these processes into your business. So go through this exercise, ladies and gentlemen, see what the potential is, and then we're going to be looking in our next training on how you actually put these things into place, okay? I hope you do this exercise. I'm looking forward to the feedback. Remember, if you want any help, talk to our office, just give us a call, and we'd love to be able to guide you on this process.